All right, get ready, because today we're diving deep, and I mean deep, into the mind of a Star Wars villain who's not your typical evil mastermind. This is Grand Admiral Thrawn.
See, what's fascinating about Thrawn is he doesn't just crave power, It's not about that for him. It's strategy, pure and simple. Understanding his opponents so well that winning is practically, well, inevitable.
It's like, forget the lightsaber or the Star Destroyer. His brain is the real weapon. And get this, the guy collects art. But not because he's got, like, an eye for beauty or anything.
Exactly. For Thrawn, art is strategic. He really believes it reveals a culture's, soul. Strengths, weaknesses, the whole shebang.
So he's predicting battle plans from brushstrokes. That's next level.
Might sound crazy, but that's Thrawn. A brushstroke, the color choice, even the materials, he analyzes it all to understand a species' psychology, their tactics. He sees their whole worldview.
We've got a mountain of intel on this blue-skinned, red-eyed strategist. A deep dive from Medium, his Wikipedia, even his Wikipedia page. We're talking academic levels of research here. Plus, The Verge called him the Sherlock Holmes of space.
Spot on, wouldn't you say? That incredible mind, deducing the tiniest details and building a whole picture from it. But today, we're focusing on Timothy Zahn's novel, Thrawn. It's bringing this fan favorite right into the current Star Wars canon.
Huge deal, right. Because Thrawn was in those old Star Wars books way back when.
Exactly. Those aren't canon anymore, so this book, it's Zahn's chance to reintroduce Thrawn, bring him to a whole new generation of fans.
And he's taking us back to Thrawn's early days, before the blue skin and the fancy title. We're seeing him climb the ranks of the Empire.
But it's not some easy climb. Thrawn, for all his brilliance, he's Chiss, an alien species from the unknown regions, basically the unexplored Wild West of the galaxy.
An outsider in a system that's already, well, pretty xenophobic to begin with.
You got it. Prejudice and suspicion every step of the way. He's constantly proving himself, not just as a strategist, but as someone worthy of being in the Empire at all.
That Medium article, the one we mentioned earlier, it really gets into that tension.
Mm-hmm.
Thrawn versus these Imperial officers who are constantly trying to trip him up. Threatened by his methods, by how fast he's rising.
It's really telling about the Empire, isn't it? All this talk of unity and strength, but underneath it's just these power struggles. Fear, suspicion, ambition.
Makes you wonder if everyone in this galaxy is just trying to climb some ladder, right?
Yeah.
Just using different tools to do it.
Interesting thought. And speaking of ambition, Thrawn's not the only one gunning for power in this book. There's Arinda Pryce. Now, there's an interesting player.
Arinda Pryce. Yeah, that's a name that makes you sit up straight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if Thrawn's our master strategist, what's her deal?
Talk about ambition, huh? Thrawn's got the intellect, the strategy, but Pryce. She's a manipulator, pure and simple. Uses the Empire's own corruption, turns it to her advantage. And it really makes you think, within this system that supposedly values order, that path to the top, it can get brutal.
So two sides of the coin, then. Thrawn, the calculated outsider, using art and culture to outmaneuver everyone. And then you've got Pryce, the insider, playing the political game.
Exactly. And that's what makes them so interesting, right? They're both playing, but completely different methods, different motivations.
Like two chess masters going head-to-head. Speaking of strategy, I got to ask about this Death Star thing. The Wikipedia article, it mentioned Thrawn actually figures it out. Like, he knows it exists, even tries to warn Palpatine about it.
Yeah. It's incredible. The guy's so good, he spots the flaw in the Empire's, ultimate weapon. A weapon that can blow up planets, by the way.
But Palpatine, classic Palpatine, he doesn't listen.
Not a chance. See, Thrawn gets it. The Death Star. It's putting all your eggs in one very destructible basket. He'd rather have options, Adaptability over just raw power.
Makes you wonder, someone that smart, why stick with the Empire at all? They're all about brute force. It's like he knows something we don't.
Million credit question, right. Don't forget, Thrawn's Chiss. And the Chiss ascendancy, their government, total mystery. They're from the unknown regions. Even the Empire's kind of scared of that place.
So there's another layer here, like maybe Thrawn's playing his own game. Something to do with the chess, their own goals?
Totally possible. The book definitely hints at it. Is he really loyal to the Empire, or is there someone else pulling the strings? Someone with even bigger plans than Palpatine?
Man, that's a cliffhanger. It's those little mysteries, the sense that there's this whole other game happening. That's what makes this so good.
Yeah.
We're just seeing the tip of the iceberg with Thrawn.
Oh, and don't forget the other players on the board, right? There's Night Swan, shrouded in secrecy, always seems to be one step ahead.
Okay, so if Thrawn's our Sherlock, is this his Moriarty then?
Kinda, yeah. Night Swan, he's like the ultimate foil. pushes Thrawn intellectually, makes him think in ways he normally wouldn't. It's more a clash of ideas than just good versus evil.
Wait, wasn't there something about this? I think it was the Wikipedia entry. Some connection between Thrawn and this Night Swan guy. Going way back.
You're right. Their pasts are all tangled up. Neither of them really realizes it at first, just adds another layer to it, right? Their whole dynamic, it's this battle of wits, but fueled by history, by the paths they took.
This is nuts. We've got politics, we've got mystery, we've got this whole unknown regions thing. It's making even the Empire nervous.
And we haven't even gotten into the little details Zahn throws in. He weaves in stuff from those old Thrawn books, the ones that aren't canon anymore. It's great for old fans, like a little wink from the author.
You mean those Easter eggs the Medium article mentioned? Love that stuff. Like he's rewarding you for paying attention. But for someone just getting into Thrawn, it doesn't take away from the story, does it?
Not at all. They're subtle. You could miss them completely, just the bonus layer. You know?
Nice. It's like he's bridging the gap, old and new. Everyone gets something out of it. But those mysteries at the heart of it all, you said it yourself. Even the Empire's afraid of something out there, in the unknown regions. What could be so scary that it makes the Death Star look like a toy?
That, my friend, is the question that'll stick with you. Zahn gives us these glimpses, right? Whispers of things out there, old and powerful, the kind of things that could change the galaxy forever.
Okay, now that's how you tell a story. It's not just about the here and now, it's about that bigger picture. The stuff lurking just out of sight.
And Thrawn, he's right in the middle. All that knowledge of the Empire, of the unknown regions. Things are about to get interesting.
You're killing me. Got to know more about these threats. But maybe before we go down that rabbit hole, we should, let's shift gears a bit here. What does this all mean for us, even if we're not, like, Star Wars experts?
Good point. Thrawn's story, it's bigger than just sci-fi, you know? It's about ambition, it's about morality, that whole do the ends justify the means thing. It's a classic.
Right, he's not some evil cartoon villain. He believes what he's doing. Even the tough stuff, it's for a reason.
He sees the Empire as, like, bringing order, the galaxy's a mess, and he's willing to make those hard choices, even if they're kind of morally gray, to get things done.
Makes you think about real life, right? Leaders having to make those calls. Security, stability. It's never easy.
Never black and white. And that's what Zahn does so well. He makes you think about it, those shades of gray. Power, leadership, the choices we make.
And he doesn't shy away from the consequences either.
Exactly. Think about Night Swan. He fails, yeah. But his whole story, it reminds us even good intentions can go really wrong.
And then there's Price. Ambitious as Thrawn, but way more ruthless about it.
She's a cautionary tale, almost. A master manipulator, using everyone to get what she wants. It's like power through deception. It'll corrupt anyone, even someone that smart.
It's like Zahn showing us, I don't know, human nature, right? The potential for greatness, but also how seductive power can be.
Totally. Those big, timeless themes. He puts them in the Star Wars package, and suddenly it's entertaining and makes you think.
So, bottom line for our listeners, why should we care about this blue-skinned, art-obsessed admiral from a galaxy far, far away?
Because at the end of the day, it's still about us. Thrawn just reminds us that even with empires and space battles, it's the human stuff that matters. Choices, beliefs, consequences.
Well said. Think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
Let's leave everyone with something to think about. We talked about Thrawn's mind, about Price's ambition, those threats out there in the unknown regions, but the big question. What's Thrawn's role going to be? Savior? Destroyer? Who knows what he'll do?
That's for you listening to decide. He's complicated, that's for sure, and his own vision for the galaxy. Most of us can't even imagine it.
There you have it, Grand Admiral Thrawn. More than a villain. He's a character that sticks with you, makes you question things.
If you haven't already, check out Zahn's Thrawn. It's fantastic. Until next time, may the Force be with you.